Hello and welcome to the Monroe County Museum System here in Monroe, Michigan. My name is Robert Ludy and I'm the registrar here. Today we're going to be doing a presentation on the preservation methods that we use here for our objects in our collection. We're doing that in honor of the month of May, which is National Preservation Month. The first thing I'd like to show is our padded hanger. We use this versus a traditional hanger for two reasons. First, we want to keep the garment from coming in contact with any metal or wood, which a traditional hanger is made out of. And secondly, we want to use a padded hanger specifically because it allows the weight of the garment to be more evenly distributed across the shoulders of the garment. Our next item here are sheet protectors. Now these are archival quality and acid-free, which means that they're safe for long-term use for documents and photos, things of that nature. You can buy these in a variety of sizes to fit a variety of different archival items. But these are very handy if you want to use the item and pick it up, but without transferring of any finger oils or anything of that nature. Also, it keeps dust from accumulating on the piece. Now, our next item is our acid-free tissue paper. Now this is most often used in packing for garments or really any item in our collection. You want to keep these things from touching each other in a box. So in order to do that, we stuff this acid-free tissue paper in it as well. We'll be giving a further demonstration of how to use this later in the video. So our next item is this acid-free box. Now we use this for a few reasons. First, well, it's acid-free. So if you're putting an item on a metal shelf or a wood shelf, as you might in a storage area, there's a barrier between the object and that shelf. That's acid-free, so that's something you definitely want. And next, you also want to use this in order to keep the light inside of the box to a minimum. The light will damage artifacts. So inside of the box, it's going to be darker. So that's another reason. And lastly, if your environment changes, your temperature or your humidity changes inside of your storage area, this box will provide sort of a buffer to that and allow the temperature change to occur more slowly inside of the box as opposed to outside of it. And typically with objects, you do not want quick temperature or humidity changes. So this box provides a buffer for that. Now our last item I'm wearing, these are our gloves. These are nitrile gloves. Now we use these as opposed to traditional cotton gloves, which many people associate with museums. We use these instead for a few reasons. First off, they are not porous in any way, shape, or form. They are completely sealed. A cotton glove can allow for moisture from sweat and whatnot to penetrate and get on the object. Secondly, these do not have, they will not grab hold of anything quite as easily as a cotton glove. A cotton glove, if there's something that's painted, for example, an object that's painted, it might take the paint off while you're handling it, whereas this is less likely to do that. So now that I've shown you some of the items that we use to help preserve our objects, I have an object here from our collection. It's a handkerchief from the Spanish-American War. It was owned by Harry Schultz, who was a soldier in that time. And I'm going to demonstrate how we're going to box it up today. So I'm using our archival paper that I showed you before. Notice I've laid out a mat of that archival paper beneath, because the tablecloth that's below that, I'm not really sure what it's made out of. So just to be on the safe side, we'll use the acid-free paper. Now, I have another sheet here that I'm going to use in order to fold it. Now, ideally, in a perfect world, you wouldn't have to fold it. But because of storage constraints, sometimes you need to use smaller boxes in order to store things more effectively and efficiently. So we have to fold this. And so notice that I'm putting the paper down so that when I do fold it, the silk is not going to be touching the silk on the other side. That's a no-no. So I've done that. Now what I'm going to do is I've folded up some of our archival paper into little logs, and I'm going to just kind of lay these here along the seam where I'm going to be folding it. Now the idea behind this is so when I do fold it, it's not creating a strong crease, it's sort of a gentle rise up. So there we go. Then I'm going to lay the other part of the paper down like that on the top. And I have another roll piece that I'm going to lay here. And I'm going to gently pick it up, bring it over, and there we go. It is folded sufficiently for the box that we're going to be using, which is this. Now I'm going to move this over to this side. Bring our box forward. Notice that I've lined the box already with paper. So this is an acid-free box, another example of one, but I've still lined it with our paper just to be on the safe side, double protection. And I've left enough so that there's a little bit of a tail coming out, and you'll see what I do with that shortly. So I'll pick up the handkerchief, place it in the box. There we are. Then I'll place another piece of acid-free paper on top. And then we'll fold over this piece over that. Now that's ready to be boxed on its own, or if you had other handkerchiefs or other things that you wanted to put on top of it, you could do so without worrying about it touching the handkerchief that's below. Now do keep in mind that if you have anything that you want to put on top, make sure that it's not heavier than the object that's below it, because you don't want to crush anything. And obviously you don't want to overfill a box either. And also, you want to make sure that you put the lid on nice and tight so that light does not penetrate into it, because light, particularly with silk objects, is not something you want mixing. So that is all for our demonstration here today, and thank you very much for stopping by.